We're in the post-lunch, pre-drinking malaise. The carbs are all setting in and we're getting nice and calm and cool. So, I was always taught never work with children, animals, or live demonstrations. So I'm not going to do a live demonstration. What I am going to talk about is the Accenture Intelligent Health Platform and one particular component of it, consent management. The Accenture Intelligent Health Platform is a series of components that we've brought together over the last few years based upon a core cross-industry platform that Accenture uses in many, many different places called the Accenture Insights Platform. The Accenture Insights Platform, if you live in the UK, it tracks virtually every drop of water. Oh, I've been told to raise my microphone. Is it too low? I should have let you do it, shouldn't I? Is that better? Better? Well, okay, right. We have a core industry platform, cross-industry platform called the Accenture Insights Platform based on a variety of open source big data technologies. We've done a particular configuration of it for healthcare, and we use this across our health and life sciences clients, not just here in the US, but around the world. And why do we do this? Well, we believe in producing repeatable, reusable components which are standardized and normalized no matter where you are. Why else do we do it? Well, we actually want to generate better value for our clients by not having to recreate wheels all the time. That's one of the reasons we like FHIR, because we don't need to recreate wheels. And why consent management? Well, this is just one particular series of use cases that we have developed upon. And what we've developed is a series of non-UI based technology components. Because there's people in this room who are absolutely incredible about creating UIs. And I can tell you, and we all know, that every single position we go and see says, do not give me another UI. Has anyone actually had a position say, please give me another one, I need another one in my life? Yeah, exactly. So we build a series of components which can be taken and can be incorporated into your existing platforms, into your existing technologies. As you guys are building out specific point solutions which are required, you can incorporate our stuff as well, or not. Because you can build it yourself, and we know we publish everything back into the community and everyone can use it. So, what's the base need we're trying to address here? Now, consent, we've seen it in a few places today in other people's presentations. We believe that with the advent of GDPR, as we know from Europe, etc., it gave us a bar. And rather than saying, well, depending on where you live around the world, you're going to have a different bar for consent, we say, no, hell with that. We'll put one bar in, complies with GDPR, and then wherever you are, we utilise the same. So, here in the US, we've got HIPAA, that wonderful piece of legislation which everyone fully understands. Yeah. See, wait, I'm still getting the laughs, man. Okay. We've got GDPR in the US. No commentary. Okay. So we say, look, across those, we're going to put a common bar in that actually sits above them, also complies with high trust, etc. At the end of the day, patient empowerment. We want patients to be able to change and flex their consent decisions over time, because consent is a temporal thing. It changes depending on who I've granted consent to, and it changes on what information I'm actually granting consent to. And also the right to be forgotten. Who's come across the right to be forgotten before? Okay, not many people. Patients have a right to be forgotten, i.e. you don't keep any... Who's a physician in the room? Yeah? Okay, so your patients turn around and say, okay, get rid of all my data. You don't have my records anymore, somebody else has. That right to be forgotten. Now, with the advent of technology, you know, there was a film out recently. Oh, it was a very bad film, but there was a whole idea, well, once it's in the cloud, it's everywhere. Okay. We can argue about what the cloud is, but the point is, technology in bits and bytes have meant that data doesn't just disappear anymore, but patients have a right that it can. So, the benefits of what we've actually done here. So with the Intelligent Health Platform, the consent management component, it's all standards-based. Some of you in this room will know Cecil Lynch, who's a colleague of mine. He makes me look really kind of meh about standards. You know, he's really into them. And you know, everything we do here uses OAuth and FHIR. Hence why I'm here. Otherwise, it would be kind of useless to stand here. everything we do is written both into internal audit, but also to whatever audit you want to function with. So many of our clients have centralised audit regimes, and we can publish straight into those. Try consent. Patients are really, really smart and really, really stupid in equal measure sometimes. So when you want to set these consent flags up, and very many patients who have a particular passion around privacy and confidentiality say, I want to tighten everything down, but then show them what can actually be seen. So before they actually put these consent flags in place, to allow the patient to actually say, oh, hang on a second, I get this now, it's not actually what I want to have happen. And then lastly, to automatically enforce. So the concept of having privacy enforcement points, privacy decision points, and privacy information points, we can act as a privacy decision point so that you can get requested from any interacting system, should we be enforcing what type of consent here, and we can make that decision for you as well. So, the obligatory technical architecture. There's no oohs and ahs. You've seen far too many of them today. Okay. Really simple, really straightforward, okay? But everything's out of the box, all the green stuff, and then we configure and customize the stuff that's in orange there. A RESTful API sitting at the top, that's our core FHIR server, and then a series of different customizable layers that sit beneath that around how we're going to do both authentication, authorization, and the services layer sitting on top of it, underneath it, sorry. We have a shared taxonomy store because everything uses the same taxonomies. It's one area we don't touch upon around when we're talking here. Is around there's more to life than just the syntax and the whole concept of semantics as well, notwithstanding context too. So this is what it looks like. It's really straightforward. It's a smart on FHIR OAuth authenticator that has a customizable interface. You guys have all seen this. So the core concepts we have. Users take many different types and shapes and forms. We treat all these types of entities as a user, whether it's a site administrator or a physician or a patient. These are just different types of people. There's just different personas that sit around that person, or an organisation itself. We actually also support organisations subtypes as well, so locations within organisations, to provide a greater level of specificity and granularity as required. And then, more obligatory, this is what it actually looks like. It's live, it's working. So you have at the top there an example access token response that has a assigned scope. So every user has to be assigned an OAuth and a smart and FHIR scope. Now the interesting one is actually with the FHIR server record. If you've got a single organisation, you actually don't need to have a discrete FHIR server record. However, most of the integrations we're doing are between organisations, so everyone does have their own. And you have the activated OAuth account. Not rocket science, we've all been here and done this. So what actually comprises the physician's record? Well, we have the linkage sitting within our core consent management, and Dr. Bruce here. That's Bruce Banner, the general practitioner, and Bruce Banner, the MD. So between two organisations, we provide that linkage using the linkage and type. Then, for an organisation record, again, we provide the linkage type sitting in the middle of Hospital A, Hospital B with a lab example here. And but what actually comprises the patient record itself? Well, there's a variety of information that's available at each side, and we just use the patient linkage to link between them. Very simple, very straightforward, but it scales and it's available ubiquitously off the IHP. There were some really good examples of consent taking I saw earlier in, I think, the second set of sessions. Really good. So this is just a mocked up consent. We don't try and prescribe this because our clients all have their own peculiar ones, which they've built over a series of years. But these are the concepts which underlie consent and how you achieve it. What's key is that actually with most of our clients, we have to work through the concept of informed consent, as a patient fully and truly actually understands what they're consenting to. This is another reason why we put the try-consent functionality in play, because actually a lot of patients we've seen in some of the proofs of concept have come back and said, oh, I thought I was fully informed, but I wasn't. So that's why the try-consent comes into play. And then we have a sharing taxonomy. Again, this isn't rocket science. This is what we guys live day in, day out when we're defining resources out. But this is how we use it with a shared value set. And then we have a variety of scenarios of where this is relevant. So we have patients who can share all their records from just a single organisation, but say, actually, I'm only going to share that little encounter seeking out organisation B. This kind of flexibility is just built into it. Is it really only 5 minutes? It just seems like a second ago I got up here. Okay. Again, here we have patients sharing all their records, but only when a particular user was involved. So we allow that kind of cross orthogonality in access control. Then here where we have patients saying, okay, only the records from hospital B from that doctor. So really quite specific. Here's an interesting fact. How many of you have actually tried doing patient surveys on consent and seeing how much patients want to tie down? Yeah? Okay. And how many have had patients come in at the beginning and say, I want to tie everything down, and then by the end of it they're like, well, only maybe that much? Yeah. Okay. Once people get more informed and actually understanding that we can control access to their information based upon who the individual is and the context and how they're providing care, a fully informed patient massively backs off we need to control this really, really tightly, because I understand we're taking appropriate control and care of their information. Again, this is based upon data type, that we're actually saying, hey, this is sexually transmitted diseases, they're the exception to this. And I think I was for gonorrhea. I'm going to get in now before Wayne hooks me off. I guess people haven't got questions because we're not doing questions. Thank you very much for your time. This is live right now in Europe, in the US, in Asia. It's live across global distributed providers, as well as sitting inside just small isolated systems. Thank you for your time, guys. Have a great day.